I left my babies alone. 3 tiny bodies, 2 months old, wailing from behind a closed door while I sat on the front step, crying. Not because I didn't love them, but because I did. So much it hurt. I was only 20 years old, a new mother to triplets, something I never saw coming. I mean, when you're handed that pregnancy test, you don't imagine 3 heartbeats. You imagine late nights and early mornings, sure, but with 1 baby, 1 tiny human, 1 cry in the night, not 3, not this. Their father, my fiancé, is 24. He works, he goes to school, and while he's trying to build a future, I'm already living inside one, alone, all day, every day, with 3 newborns whose needs are endless, and voices never stop. So yes, I stepped outside, just past the door, onto the porch. The baby monitor gripped tightly in my hand, its camera lit up, showing 3 cribs, 3 little bodies, and the sound, always the sound, of babies crying. Because sometimes they cry for no reason. Sometimes they cry when they're fed, when they're dry, when they're warm. Sometimes they cry just to cry. And sometimes I cry too. I had to transfer my education online. I gave up the last threads of my social life. I barely sleep. I barely eat. My entire day is holding, feeding, changing, soothing. And when I can't soothe them, when the cries become this aching white noise in my bones, I start to break. Not in rage, not in neglect, in desperation. So I did what I was told by every nurse, every pamphlet, every late-night parenting hotline. Put the babies in a safe place, step away, and breathe. That day, I was doing everything right, until he walked in. He opened the door, heard the crying, and saw me sitting there, just outside, my face buried in my hands. I looked up and saw something worse than confusion. I saw judgment. He didn't ask if I was okay. He didn't see the monitor in my lap or the tears on my face. He called me a bad mother, he yelled. Loud enough, I thought, to wake the babies. But they were already crying. So what did it matter? He said I was putting them in danger, that I was being neglectful, that I had no right to leave them alone. Then he told his parents, the only family I've ever had. I grew up in the system, foster, home to foster home. His family had become my family, and just like that, they turned cold, stopped checking in, started whispering behind closed doors. I could feel the judgment like a draft in the room. I was more alone than ever. And the truth? That hurt worse than the crying. I didn't ask for triplets. I didn't ask to do this alone. I didn't ask to be 20 years old and feel like a prisoner inside my own home, tethered to 3 tiny lives that I love more than my own, but who never, ever stopped needing me. I never left them alone to party. I never left the house. I never stopped watching. I didn't even stand up from the chair by the door. I just needed air. 5 minutes of air. When I finally told my story to strangers online, I expected maybe some scolding, maybe more of what I'd already been getting from the people who were supposed to love me. But instead, thousands of voices poured in like a lifeline. They told me what I already knew deep down. A crying baby is a safe baby, a breathing baby. They reminded me what the nurses said in the hospital, that when you're reaching the edge, stepping away is not abandonment. It's survival. It's protection from yourself, from the spiral, from the possibility of becoming a parent who breaks, who snaps, who regrets. That one post changed everything. At first, my fiancé was furious that I'd shared our personal life with strangers. But slowly, as he read the comments, as he heard the words of people who had walked this road, or roads just as dark, something shifted. He apologized. He told me he wanted to be more involved. He offered to take parenting classes with me. He saw, maybe for the first time, what I'd been carrying alone. That I wasn't being dramatic. I wasn't being lazy. I was being strong in the most terrifying way, by knowing when I couldn't be. And still, in quiet moments, I think back to the sound of the front door opening, to the look on his face, to the sting of hearing someone call me a bad mother when I was doing everything I could not to become one. I've never been more scared than I was in those early weeks. I've also never been more determined, because every time I step back inside, pick up a baby, then another, I remind myself why I keep going. Love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. So, am I the asshole for leaving my babies inside by themselves? Or am I just a young mother trying not to drown? Trying to hold it together for 3 crying souls and one partner who's still learning how to see me, not just as mom, but as a woman, a person, a human being who needs to breathe. This is AITA Story Vault. And here's what I want to say to the mothers listening right now. The ones crying in silence. The ones who put their babies down in a safe crib and walk outside for 5 minutes of sky, of stillness, of sanity. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not bad. You are surviving. And that is sacred. To the partners, love is not just what you say when things are sweet. It's how you show up when things are not. Don't just ask if the baby's okay. Ask if she's okay. Don't be a hero in theory. Be a helper in practice. To the families, support doesn't look like criticism. It looks like showing up with groceries, holding a baby so mom can shower, or just saying the words, "You're doing okay. You're not alone." And to everyone who judged before they asked, assumed before they understood, ask yourself, have you ever held 3 screaming babies while your own body was still healing? Have you ever gone days without sleep and still managed to feed, change, comfort, repeat? Then maybe, just maybe, step outside before you speak. Because sometimes stepping away isn't weakness, it's wisdom.